Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something literally all of us deal with, this crazy modern dilemma. How on earth do you acquire deep, complex knowledge when our attention economy is just relentlessly trying to distract you? I mean, we are constantly bombarded with information, right? Finding the actual signal through all that noise, and honestly, finding the right vehicle to deliver that signal is basically the ultimate challenge for anyone trying to stay focused and learn. So how do we consume complex information efficiently today? It's a question we wrestle with every single day. We all have this profound desire to better ourselves, to really understand the world around us. But, well, we're limited by time and we're limited by default delivery methods. To solve this whole thing, we've got to look at two distinct pieces of the puzzle. We need to look at the specific formats we choose and the actual technological mediums we use to consume them. All right, part one, the content, financial psychology. Our source text points us toward a really specific, kind of brilliant digital format, the animated book summary. Think about what this actually represents for a second. It's a highly structured, super visual method that's literally designed to let you absorb complex, book-length topics without having to sacrifice days reading hundreds of pages. Actually, it's like a giant puzzle perfectly assembled for you. It distills the absolute core essence of a text into dynamic, engaging visuals. It's an absolute superpower for the modern learner. And this brilliantly illustrates our source's specific focus, mastering the psychology of money. Instead of some dry academic lecture on interest rates or complex compound formulas, the stuff that usually puts people to sleep, this actually tackles the behavioral side of finance. It takes that deeply personal, super complicated relationship that every single one of us has with money, and it compresses it into a digestible, visual narrative to help optimize your mindset. Now here is the absolutely critical number from our source data, 33. 33 minutes. Stop and think about the value of your time. In basically the exact time it takes you to commute or eat your lunch, an entire comprehensive book on financial psychology is summarized and delivered right to your brain. This 33-minute window, it's the pinnacle of modern digital efficiency. It is all about maximizing the return on your invested time. And where does this high-value knowledge transaction actually take place? Well, right here, at this standard YouTube link provided in the source text. It represents the default pathway that pretty much the whole world uses to access video. But, as any focused learner knows, simply accessing the content is really only half the battle. The platform itself heavily dictates how we experience that information. And let's be real, default pathways are inherently noisy.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 2, the conduit, finding alternative viewing apps.
So now we have to pivot to the medium itself, which brings us to the concept of a YT alternative app. Why does this even exist? Well, because an alternative app fundamentally changes your user experience. It's all about taking control of the conduit. I mean, if you're trying to absorb a dense 33-minute educational summary, you definitely don't want pop-up ads or algorithmic clutter breaking your focus, right? That is exactly where these alternatives step in. They act like a shield to protect your cognitive load.
And right here is the specific solution highlighted in our data, Vanced Official, positioned right among the best YT alternative apps. Seeking out a tool like this is a proactive approach to digital consumption. By using Vanced Official, a user is actively, deliberately choosing to modify and streamline how they interact with that standard YouTube link we just talked about. It's a conscious choice to upgrade your viewing toolkit and safeguard your attention architecture.
Moving into Section 3, optimizing your consumption.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the entire picture finally comes into focus for us. On one side, we have the message, a highly compressed 33-minute animated summary designed entirely to maximize your understanding of a really complex topic. And on the other side, we have the medium, the Vanced Official app, a platform designed to totally overhaul how you experience that very video. The message is completely optimized for deep understanding, while the medium is optimized for a frictionless, totally uninterrupted viewing environment. We are no longer just passive consumers of information, you guys. We have powerful choices. So I'm going to leave you with this. How do you value your time, and what platforms do you use to educate yourself? Are you just relying on those noisy default settings, or are you actively seeking out the most efficient content and the most optimized conduits to actually accelerate your learning? It's really time to take a hard look at your digital toolkit. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.